Hello, everyone. Do you ever watch a TV show or a movie or maybe read a book and you wonder to yourself, how can this character have so many problems going on? They can't seem to get right in their head, or there's this bully that keeps treating them bad, or maybe they seem to try to go somewhere, but there's a whole bunch of nature that gets in their way, or society as a whole has just got it out for them and they're ready to take them down. Well, there's no coincidence that stories seem to have a lot of problems, because problems are interesting to read about, and we're going to work on analyzing problems when we talk about today the 5 types of conflict. Now, conflict is a struggle between opposing forces, and all stories are centered around conflict. So today, let's talk about these types of conflict. The first type is the character versus character conflict. Now, you can see in this picture we have Kylo Ren and Rey from Star Wars. You know that character versus character means that there are 2 characters that are pitted against each other. Usually, they're enemies. In this case, this in the first Star Wars, not the first, the 7th Star Wars, these 2 characters are pitted against each other. And a little bit of spoilers, I guess. If you haven't seen the Star Wars series, maybe they'll make up. But for now, they're against each other. Usually have a good guy, or the protagonist, and a bad guy, the antagonist. So in this case, Rey would be the protagonist. Kylo Ren's the antagonist. He's the bad guy. The protagonist wants something, and the antagonist wants to stop the protagonist from getting it. We've read this before in different stories. If we read, for example, The Mixer, we had the dog. He wanted to just be a good dog, and in this case, the antagonist was his owner, who would beat him and treat him bad and try to train him to help him break into houses, which is not something a good dog does. So there you have a little bit of an idea of 2 characters struggling against each other, even if we don't really realize it at the time. Character versus self. So here we have a picture of young Harry Potter and old Harry Potter. And if you've read the 5th Harry Potter book, The Order of the Phoenix, Harry really goes through a lot of internal conflict inside of his own head, dealing with the problems inside, overcoming fears and things like that. So the character must overcome their fears. The character struggles within their own mind. Wow, I'm really repeating myself. So let's think about a character struggles of whether or not something is the right or wrong thing. So think about the giver here with Jonas. He is in the community. He likes his way of life. But as he grows in the community, he starts to realize, hey, maybe there's a better way to live. What am I going to do? He has that struggle within himself about, what do I do about this character? Okay, that's character versus self. Me versus what's inside of me. Am I doing the right thing? Character versus nature. So here we have the picture of Jurassic Park, right? He's fighting against the dinosaurs. A character must overcome a force of nature. These could be storms or an animal. The force of nature prevents the character from getting what the character wants. That reminds me, this slide has our secret word, and our secret word for this assignment is storm. There it is in big letters. There it's spinning around on the screen. The secret word is storm. Look at all those arrows pointing at the word storm. The secret word is storm. Let's move on. We have character versus technology. In this case, the character must overcome a machine or technology. Often the character has created the machine and has to destroy it. So you have the movie I, Robot there, where robots have taken things over and they're making things worse. I'm sure a lot of stories will be written about the distance learning that we've done, and a lot of character versus technology with teachers trying to figure out how to use their technology to interact with their students. If there's stories written about it and they're struggling with technology and overcoming it, then it's character versus technology conflict. The last kind is character versus society. So in character versus society, the character sees something differently than everyone else. The character tries to convince others that he or she is right. So here you have the movie Footloose. If you've never seen the movie Footloose, basically you can't dance in this town, but the main character likes to dance. He convinces the entire town to dance. I've never seen the movie, but I know it's a perfect example of character versus society. Also a good example of character versus society is The Hunger Games. Another example is The Giver, Jonas against the community, trying to overcome this oppressive government. Character versus society, trying to change the world from within. That's character versus society. And that's our last type of conflict. That's all 5 of them. So now what you need to do is you need to go in and take the types of conflict practice quiz on Schoology. Don't forget the secret word. I'm not going to say it again. You need to watch the whole video in order to see it. Have a good day.